morning hair. And I don't care. I had allergies, so you'll have to excuse me. I just took my medicine. Springtime. Springtime allergy time. Alright, I'm going to bring something to you today that might cheer you up to know why we have all this suffering. And that's the title of it. Why all the suffering? Okay, so thank you for listening in. The world is full of suffering. The entire creation is groaning and travailing. Romans 8:22. The question is, why is there all this suffering? In view of the fact that God exists, why is his creation burdened down with pain and struggle and sorrow? The scriptures do not allow us to separate suffering from God. We cannot be like Cyrus, who had been taught there were two gods, small g. One God for good, and the other God of evil and suffering. Hence the prophet spoke these words to the Persian ruler, long before he was born. Isaiah 45:6 and 7. I am Yahweh, and there is no other, former of light and creator of darkness, maker of good and creator of evil. I, Yahweh, make all these things. And Yahweh added, only among you is El, and there is no other, and no other Elohim. God tells us that he is among us, and he makes our sufferings. But in doing so, he does not sin, for sin is a failing. All have sinned and are wanting of the glory of God. Romans 3:23. We lack the glory of God, the glory of never failing to accomplish the good he has purposed. God will hit the mark he has set. He will achieve his goal. And what is his goal? For even as in Adam all are dying, thus also in Christ shall all be vivified. Yet each in his own class, the first fruit Christ. Thereupon those who are Christ's in his presence. Thereafter the consummation, whenever he may be giving up the kingdom to his God and Father, whenever he should be nullifying all sovereignty and all authority and power. For he must be reigning until he should be placing all his enemies under his feet. The last enemy is being abolished, death. For he subjects all under his feet. Now whenever he may be saying that all is subject, it is evident that it is outside of him who subjects all to him. Now whenever all may be subject to him, then the Son himself also shall be subjected to him, who subjects all to him, that God may be all in all. 1 Corinthians 15:22 through 28. God's goal is to become all in all. The process of dying. In order for God to become all in all, death must be dethroned. It has entered into our world through the disobedience of Adam. Yet Elohim had instructed, as for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you must not eat from it. For on the day you eat from it, to die you shall be dying. Genesis 2:17. Consequently, there has come a long drawn-out process of suffering and groaning and grief for each human being, until you return to the ground. For from it you were taken, for soil you are, and to soil you shall return. Genesis 3:19. What then is it to be living now? It is to be in a process of dying, which involves suffering. Yet dying ends with to die. To die is to return. Death is a return. Job said, I know that you are returning me to death. Job 30:23. At death, the spirit returns to God who gave it. Ecclesiastes 12:7. The soil returns to the unseen. Psalm 9:27, Acts 2:27 and 31. And the body returns to the soil. Genesis 3:19. But at present, God, who is among us, has appointed that we should be dying, which means that we will be suffering during this life. Nevertheless, God who is among us has not made suffering an everlasting condition or as an end in itself. It is temporary, and it will serve by way of contrast to make his glory known, the glory of God. We are now wanting of the glory of God, for God has subjected the creation to vanity, but he has done so in expectation. For I am reckoning that the sufferings of the current era do not deserve the glory about to be revealed for us. For the premonition of the creation is awaiting the unveiling of the sons of God. For to vanity was the creation subjected, not voluntarily, but because of him who subjects it, in expectation that the creation itself shall be freed from the slavery of corruption into the glorious freedom of the children of God. This article was done by J.W Goerzen. See, I find these gems, and they're great. So, ultimately, suffering is for the greater good and for the glory of God. In his creation, he makes that beautiful contrast. He makes that huge lump of clay, and he makes it and breaks it. He breaks it and makes it beautiful, as the potter goes. So, have a beautiful Friday, and we will see you later.